You can't reach parents the same way you did 10 years ago. You can't just expect them to call if that's the only option you're giving them. You're cutting out half, if not more, the people who might be wanting to. Amplify Method, in like layman's terms, gives all parents in your area the opportunity to reach out to your business in a way they're comfortable with or what fits their schedule the best.
Right, so we're recording, and this is Jessica Gleave. She is the general manager of Creatively Disruptive. She runs all the day-to-day. She's the head boss lady of everything that we do. She's my boss in reality. She makes sure that everybody is doing what they should be doing. There's over 106 clients that we have, and she is directly responsible for the success of all the campaigns. Thankfully, the vast majority, I would probably say 97, 98% of those clients are doing exceptionally well. And there's always a few that need work and need to be improved. But Jess is, I would say, the chief officer responsible for making sure that these are all working, and then the 20 teammates that we have basically executes what she wants to have happen. And we're lucky to have her, and we got a little bit of time to go through some stuff about what makes a good ad campaign run. I'm gonna ask some questions. She's sent me a whole bunch of questions which feel quite hard to read, but I'm going to try to dumb it down for myself, and hopefully that will help.
If you ask me the question, Ron, I'll read it.
Right, it's like, okay, I think I know what I'm going to ask her. I'm not sure. Some of these questions that she's written down for me to ask or to talk about are, I'm not even sure what they mean. So we're going to go through some of these from a layman's term, and then the expert is going to help us understand how it's done, and probably more importantly, how we do it, right, Jess? Because we do things a little differently. It's funny, we've had clients complain that they've gone to other experts, and these experts say that we should, things should be done in a slightly different way. But 10 years of being in business, well over 100 clients that are super happy, kind of says that things are working and things go very well. And we are constantly, I think one of the things we do well is understanding the kids' activity center world and kind of what parents want, right?
Well, there's never just like one way to do it either. Like, nothing to say that what the experts that past clients have spoken to are not necessarily wrong. It's just we understand the niche because I'm an exact target parent. I have 3 kids, all in the age range of doing set activities that we market for. So we all understand how we need to present that to. We go off of building off your audience, like building a persona or a person to build the whole campaign around. And my persona is the person for summer camp, literally ripping my hair out to not lose my crap with my children as they're running down the banister in their underwear.
Right. I've seen that.
That is literally the language we use in the ads, because that's what I have explained, that's what the struggle parents are going through, because she's still working full time.
Right. So And I think there's a lot of agencies that are out there, and just to separate ourselves a little bit from others that are out there, I think there's a lot of agencies that are decent from understanding the algorithm and how Meta works and how to operate and build ads and all of that. But there's not a lot of agencies that understand, 1, the Kids Activity Center and the business that they run, but 2, who are the people that they're targeting. There's not a lot of those. And I think it's really important when anybody's selecting an agency or someone to help them, that they actually do understand that. Because as much as anything, probably a successful campaign comes down to targeting the right people. If you can't target the right people, it doesn't matter how good the words are, how good the automations are, how good everything else is. If you're hitting the wrong audience, you're actually not going to get anything. So when you're building Facebook and Instagram ads for kids' activity centers, how do you decide on what that ideal audience is?
You obviously have your geo-targeting. Every gym's different. I have some that are in a rural area and will target closer to an even larger radius. And then those who are in city like New York, I'm 5 miles, nothing more than that, because of where they're specifically targeted. But I think the biggest thing that's different is we don't actually target say gymnastics. So we don't target gymnastics. That is a search term that you can target in Facebook and Instagram, detailed targeting options. We target a parent who might be interested. They may not realize they are, but they're looking for something. What is that person looking into? So when somebody goes and looks at the audience that we've built, they're probably like, why are you targeting Huggies? or Lysol wipes. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's nothing to do with it, but it does when you're thinking about your persona, your ideal customer.
Right.
That parent is looking at things like Huggies, Lysol, Graco, those types of brands that affiliate. Like, if you're a parent of a kid in that age range, I'm already looking at products like that. I want to target people similar to an ad that they would be interested in seeing because I'm offering something for their kids.
Right.
That's the biggest difference with our method to other agencies.
Right. So it's targeting what the parent's interested in, not necessarily who they are, where they are,
And what you offer.
Right. So the cool thing about targeting Huggies is that allows you to also, because there's different types of people that we want to attract, right? Because there's we might want to focus on kids activity centers, Kinder Gym or Mummy and Me. A way to target a mum that's maybe has younger kids is to target Huggies.
Right.
Because somebody who's got a 10-year-old as the youngest kid probably isn't looking at Huggies, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not looking at Gymnastics or Ninja Zone or things. I'm looking at how do I entertain my child while I have work I still need to be doing and my husband's not home.
Right.
Or I'm constantly ordering diapers and wipes and things like that. So like targeting people who already are looking into stuff like that, it actually does make a lot of sense when you think about it.
Right. And I always call it communicating with your community. That's what we do. Lots of people get kind of frustrated when they think about, I've got to do marketing. Any small business owner doesn't really like marketing or advertising. I don't really like doing it. I don't really like spending money on marketing and advertising. What I do want to do is communicate our message to our target audience, which is our community. And for a kids activity center that has a location, that community is a 10-mile radius of mums and possibly dads, but probably mums that are looking for things to do for their kids, which is most mums in reality, and getting in front of them, right?
I think the other thing too is like when you do put out an ad or a post or something, like I've seen some people come on, I go and review their like what they've done in the past, and it'll be just saying recreational gymnastics from 5 to 7, sign up today. And like that's it. But how you word it to said parent is the most important part. You can have the nicest image or the best website or all easy, but if you're not hitting on what the pain point, hence the pulling the hair out, my kids sliding down the banister in their underwear, that's relatable, not the I have recreational from 5 to 7.
Right. Well, I mean, people aren't really, a lot of parents don't even know what recreation classes are.
Right.
Some parents might not really be that familiar with gymnastics. Or worse, they are familiar with gymnastics and don't really understand it and never, because they're maybe baseball people or soccer people, right? So, I think most parents, even gymnastics people who really enjoy gymnastics, what they want is what does their kid get out of it? Yeah.
We have this structure we use for onboarding. The initial, we always do optimizations as things progress for a client, but that first initial structure is something along the lines of your kids will love XYZ, whatever your programs may be. We do dumb it down, so it's not, if it's called Tiny Tots or something, I'm not going to know what Tiny Tots is. That's what you specifically call your program. But what if it's a Parent and Me gymnastics program, we'll call it a Parent and Me gymnastics program. And then it goes into what that child's going to get from it. Confidence, those self things. For my own personal, I signed the kids up for jiu-jitsu. And the one reason I did it was because I had seen this location before, but they had put out a recent blog even about how doing jiu-jitsu helps with focusing and ADHD tendencies and things like that, and helping them focus better in school, which actually was a problem my oldest was going through. And so that alone made me pay the money, just because it hit what my child was going to get out of it.
Right. So, because parents have their own internal things that they want for their kids. A lot of parents understand that their kids aren't going to be top performing gymnasts, right?
No, it's more of
right.
helping them grow into gymnastics is the best fundamental sport to build them into other sports.
Right.
So they may not be going to the Olympics someday, and potentially, but most of them are looking at it as a way to build them into being better at school and being better at other sports, and that foundation. Right,
exactly. So tell us a little bit about the Amplify Method. I know that it was something that Russell developed, and Russell is my business partner. He developed this, must have been about 5 or 6 years ago. If you were going to break it down, because you're constantly building this Amplify Method for our clients, what would you say is it, and how is it different to what most agencies do?
I think the The big thing is that you can't reach parents the same way you did 10 years ago. You can't just expect them to call. If that's the only option you're giving them, you're cutting out half, if not more, the people who might be wanting to. Amplify Method, in like layman's terms, gives all parents in your area the opportunity to reach out to your business in a way they're comfortable with or what fits their schedule the best. I work full time. I have 3 kids. I have to go car pickup line. I do not have time to ever answer my phone, and half the time I won't even text. But I will automatically go sign up if I want, do all my research on my back end. So I just will sign up. I'll fill out a form if I get something like a free trial or something to get that, but I'll go through the steps to sign up without having to really talk to anybody. But that doesn't mean Sue down the street and who might be interested in the same doesn't want to actually have that phone call. So how we put together the ads, the whole funnel really, is to give them the opportunity to fill out a form, do a phone call, just register, or email, like just giving them all the opportunity, or walk in to speak to that gym owner. And it has been a bit of a struggle for some clients to get used to that, especially if they're like, I don't want to talk to anybody. You have to open that door. Otherwise, you're missing opportunity.
I think it's important for business owners to understand that if you close doors, you're going to have less customers. It's not about you. You can't say, well, I don't want to talk to anybody, or I don't want there to be text, or I don't want to have to look at emails, or I don't want. Each time you do that, you're going to have less people reaching out to you. And what you're basically saying is, I'm okay with earning less money because I don't want to answer a phone. And I think some people struggle with that, small business owners especially, because they kind of like get to do whatever they want to do. They're dictatorial type A personalities that kind of say, well, this is how I do it and this is what I want done. That's great. Clients don't care what you want. You are not the center of their universe. They are the center of their universe.
I just had a discussion with a client who's like, I just wanted any inquiries to come in to just go and book, and then they just come in. I'm like, well, that's actually unrealistic. It's not going to happen. People will not just do that. You have to be able to manage that sales process and getting them through the line. And if we did that for our own business, we would not be growing at all.
No. I mean, it's funny, a lot of times, especially in the gymnastics and kids activity center realm, like your dance school teacher, they will say, well, I don't want to have to follow up on these calls. I just want them to sign up. But when we get them as a customer, we had to follow up with them. They didn't just sign up. We had to work hard to get them to talk to us. And when they did talk to us, we had to take them through a process that they aren't prepared to have their clients do, or that they aren't prepared to do themselves. And it really does amaze me sometimes. And I think when people are looking at their campaigns and looking at what they're doing, is think about what they do. Like if someone tried to reach them as a customer, be honest with yourself. Are you truly, like, you might be a very small segment of the population that's just going to sign directly up.
Right. But that's more because I'm introverted and I don't like talking to people. I just like, I don't want to take a phone call and just sign up myself. But that's not everybody.
Right. Exactly. So being open, and it's all about basically having, everybody talks about the funnel, right? It's about having the biggest, widest mouth at the top of the funnel as you can, bringing as much into it as an entry point, and then coming through the funnel to becoming a customer. And basically what you're saying with the Amplify method is making that opening at the top of the funnel as wide as possible so we can get as many people engaging as possible, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. And there is something to be said about people communicating the way they feel most comfortable. Like there are people that would much rather text. There are people that would want to talk on the phone. There are other people that would rather have a few email conversations. There's many people that would rather have a Facebook message conversation or maybe even a live chat on a website or whatever. Whatever is their most comfortable way of communicating. If we make it easy for them to communicate that way and we communicate back with them that way, they're much more likely to feel comfortable about the whole situation and not feel like they're being strong-armed into doing something they don't want to do. Right.
Well, and that leads into like, when an inquiry does come in, how quickly do you respond to that? And that was actually one of the biggest problems we've had for a long time, which is why we developed Kai.
Right.
It goes in and does that initial response. Doesn't take away everything, but it does help. That is like, Gymnastics Club, dance studios, all the kids' activity centers wear like 17 hats. I feel like I wear 7 and I'm drowning. They wear more than me.
Right.
But they don't have the time to respond in 5 minutes. And most of the time, their front desk staff don't have the time to do
You're not plunging toilets every day, maybe once a week or something.
Once a week.
You're not plunging
Depends on the day.
you're not plunging toilets every day. You're not vacuuming floors every day. You're not like, well, you might be in your home, but not huge gymnastics floors or dance floors or whatever. You're not doing all of that and then doing the accounting and then the payroll and then the blah, 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 and then teaching
And
classes and blah, 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 and then trying to answer stuff.
Still doing, most of them are parents too. So
right.
turn around and then do everything that I'm already doing. So it's like they've had it all that they have to do. So, but Kai, that takes in at least the automations of responding when an inquiry does come in and taking over that texting and the emailing, trying to get them into a booking of sorts. But the only part that isn't ready is phone calls yet. That's still needs to have that.
Because I know people have said to me before at conferences and so forth, if your Amplify method is so good at getting people to come in all these different ways, do I have to monitor all those different ways? And yes, you do, but there are tools like Kai to help you monitor all those different ways, right?
Right.
Here's a question about Kai and the automated systems and so forth that we utilize. Can you give us a little brief rundown, easy to understand rundown of what Kai is and how it operates?
Kai is a all-in-one CRM platform for our clients. So it doesn't just do the lead follow-up, for instance. It does. It's a huge part. It also has any messages that come in from Facebook or Instagram, WhatsApp, or we have the web chat on our clients' websites. So any inquiries that come in through that, it will have conversations with them as if it's a real person. And there's learning with it too. So we still work through that for everyone's preferences. But the goal is that it gets into a conversation with any inquiries coming in from different Amplify Method avenues. And then it gets them to either book on a calendar or get them to book a class. It is set up specific to each client of what their preference was. I have some that do, we've built them a calendar to build them like a free trial booking slot, like times that they've set up in their day-to-day of when they want people to come in for said trials, and then they take over the sale from that point when they have them.
Basically, in a nutshell, operates like a front desk person who is responding to every inquiry across Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, text message, email, and like a live chat bot on a website, right? So all those different ways that somebody might reach out to you, which are the most common ways that people communicate, it will automatically respond to them 24/7, 365 days of the year with enthusiasm and knowledge based on the knowledge that it has.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I always tell people that it takes about 3 months for it to learn, kind of to be really, really, really good. It can be a little bit sooner than that, but 3 months. And I look at it as it's a really enthusiastic employee that's always going to try to give an answer. It's always going to respond at whatever time of the day, night, or whatever it is.
3 a.m.
But at the beginning, it's going to be somewhat vanilla. It's not going to know everything about your gym, and it's not going to know everything about the kind of questions that a parent might ask. So occasionally it's going to answer in an odd way. But like a employee that stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning to answer a question and they only just started last week, right? They might not answer it in the perfect way. And there's an element of training involved with it. But as we train it, it gets better and better, and it doesn't make the same mistakes twice.
No. Yeah, because we have a team dedicated to working on that too. And we do live trainings with clients that have them. So we are always there to help them and work through everything. But yeah, it has to be taught. Just like you teaching me. I've been here for 8 years.
I've seen people get frustrated and stuff, and I think it's because they think that AI should just work perfectly right out the bat. And that's not kind of how AI works. Like, I've got a ChatGPT model that I use to do a lot of stuff for me. It helps me put together emails, helps me do research, helps me do a lot of stuff. And when I first started, it was kind of like, bleh. Now, after got a year of using it, it's like almost daily, it's so rich. It knows me, it knows the business, it knows some of the staff members. My ChatGPT knows you, Jessica. When I talk about you or put information in, it brings that knowledge base back into the conversations and helps me craft things or look at things the way I want. Like right now, I'm doing in a very simple way. I had a meeting with a client today, and he wanted a job description for a front desk person. I've done a number of job descriptions for front desk people, and I could see it was pulling from all of that information from doing those things. And it wrote this amazing job description with me giving it a little bit of information about that gym. And it's amazing. And with Kai, it kind of pulls on the same kind of stuff. And as the more information it gets over time, the more amazing it becomes. And it does pull from websites, right? It does pull from the client's website as well.
Yes. It does pull from the client's website. If there's any information that's not on there, they're like, that's just information. It just needs to be taught and given. So there's like an initial knowledge base we give it, and then it's built on.
Right. And we do that through Google Docs and so forth, right? I think. And we just can add it and add it and add it. So yeah, and I think, can you tell me a little bit about that grandma with Azerian Gymnastics that was talking to Kai? Do you remember that time?
Yeah, the lady, the grandma didn't even know it was an AI. She just thought it was an employee. They gave the AI a name, I believe. I don't remember the name.
Julie, I think.
Julie, yeah, they gave her a name, and so it just was saying, "Hi, I'm Julie from Azerian Gymnastics," and they went on and talked about all the information she's wanting, and ended up getting to the point where she was sending pictures of her grandchildren. She was signing up to Julie. And then be like, I'm so looking forward to seeing you. And then that's when Kai had said, well, I'm actually just an AI, but so-and-so will be so excited to see you when you get in. And they're like, what? It was great. It was actually really funny to see, but it did its job. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. So
right. What I love about it is that it's constantly working. It's constantly there. And it's a tool like everything else. It doesn't totally replace. People do need to look in and watch it and adjust it and step in when there may be a question happens that the AI doesn't know, or at least know, okay, hey, be looking at, we've got this amount of leads coming through. This is where it's going. You can go in and, like, let's say Kai fills out your free trial class and someone doesn't turn up. You've still got to go in and click a button to set the Kai off to start following up to get them rebooked. And so there's still a little bit of work, but there's not, it kind of takes 90% of the work out of the hands of the gym and it just does it for them, right?
Right. Which is the whole reason we built it. Plus, on top of the AI part, it does have, the CRM part. It integrates directly into Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit integrates back and forth, so we do have that option there too. But you do your email marketing, your social media, all of it through there.
And reputation management, which I think is tremendously important. Like the amount of kids' activity centers that I see, dance schools, swim schools, gymnastics schools, that when you go and look at their Google My Business page, and they might have been in business for 20 years and they've got 3 reviews. One's bad, so they got a 3.5 Google star review. And it's like, and they've got 600 people that are clients of theirs. Like today, the guy I was talking to, Paul, he has a really great gym in New York, state of New York, and he's been in business, I want to say 15 years or so. He's got 9 Google reviews. 2 of them aren't 5 stars, so he's got a 4-star review. And I said to him, you've got like 400 kids and parents in your business. Can you just get 3 a day? And he was like, oh man, 3 a day, get 3 reviews. And then I showed him Kai and I said, look, this is how it works. You just send a text through, it goes to them. You tell the parent that you're going to do it. You select 3 parents that love you, and you tell them, I'm going to send you this text. Could you do a review for me? And you just do 3 a day, 3 a week. That's 150 a year. That's 600 every 4 years. That becomes tremendous.
Most realize, and it's not just kids activity centers, that how much their reviews make a campaign work too. Because the other part to it is you can have an ad that goes out to Facebook, Instagram, whatever. They'll see it. They may not engage, but they see it and then they continue to see it. They'll go Google you. And that's where Google ads come into the funnel as well. But they're going to look at your reviews. I mean, for me with my kids, I look at all the gymnastics clubs or whatever in my area, and I will only look at the ones that have 4.5 above, over 100 reviews. I won't be interested in anything else.
Anything under 4.5, you start getting into dodgy ground.
Yep.
So especially for kids' activity centers. For other businesses, I think 4. Like I'll go to a restaurant that has a 4. I'll do business with businesses that have a 4+. But with kids' activity centers, where you're leaving your children.
And they really do read it. I mean, I spent hours reading through every email or every review, and I specifically paid attention to those negative ones too, because I wanted to see what their negative experience was, and then how did it respond to it? Because I have literally I've seen clients even where it's back and forth, they're arguing with each other. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that.
No.
Because I just don't want to deal with it.
I think you made a really good point there. I think we talk to our clients a lot about this. When you're responding to a negative review, you don't respond to the person. You respond in a way that that somebody else who's going to read the review is going to see it and you don't lie, you be as authentically yourself, but understand that the person that matters at that point is actually that mom who's checking the reviews, and she wants to see, like, maybe you got a 1-star, own up to whatever happened, take responsibility if you did make a mistake. If you didn't make a mistake and it's just a crazy mom, then just understand that they're unhappy and say, hey, we'd love you to reach out to us and talk to us, like, we'd want to make this right, kind of stuff. And don't look like a jerk, because that mom's going to look at it and go, oh man, those guys are jerks.
Because typically what it is it's like there's someone that's come in that's a little crazy, and then they respond offensively, and then that's back and forth from that, and you're like, that's almost like, no, that alone. So yeah, being very still respectful, no matter how upset you are about it, just being respectful of how you respond to it, because it's not that person you're responding to the entire community is going to read it.
Right.
That will ruin it.
Make a difference, right? This is why we want to get 3 positive reviews every week in, week out. That should be the goal. Yeah, I know sometimes we struggle with it as well, but if you've got 400 kids in your gym with 400 parents, you should be able to find 3 each week that are prepared to say something nice about you, right? And give them something nice. I mean, you're not supposed to pay for reviews, but if someone does it, give them something. Do something to reward the person's time. Give them a coffee or something. Buy them a coffee at Starbucks or something if they do it. But the actual benefits are tremendous over time. What typically ends up happening is the odd bad review that you're inevitably going to get, and we've got bad reviews inevitably, they become just a few with a whole heap of positive reviews. And we're very lucky that a lot of the positive reviews that we get, there's a big, huge story about how we've changed people's lives. And those are really, really powerful. And if you can get a regular amount of those coming through, then when you get the odd bad one, which is usually somebody who's probably a little bit crazy, had a bad day, a little bit angry, something went wrong maybe in your business, and it hit them up the wrong day, so they ran off and wrote a bad review. It kind of is lost amongst all the good ones. And if you're responding to that bad review with empathy and care and being reasonable, then it kind of even lessens that bad review even more with all those good ones. Anyway, anything else? Like, is there something that you would like to share with anybody that might watch this? Anything when a campaign is being built for you, or you're building a campaign yourself, any parting words that you would share to make sure people are thinking about?
I don't know if it's parting words, but just like one thing I would like people to really understand about Creatively Disruptive is that we have the Amplify Method. We have different ad targetings and stuff. We don't just look at the on-platform metrics or the tracking, like how many calls you get, how many leads you get, how many, et cetera. The first thing we look at is your enrollment. That's like the biggest judgment of whether or not what we're actually doing is working. So we're more of a consultative, because like we look at not just how many enrollments did you get this month, how far off are we from your goal, but how many did you lose? And is there something going on behind the scenes that we could potentially help you with? It is not just throw an ad out there and there you go. But we look at the whole entire funnel.
One of the things that I want to make a difference in their life, right? And that means, if they really would love a new kitchen, how much is that kitchen going to be, and how much money do they need to earn to be able to get a new kitchen or a new home, or send their kids to college, or have a vacation, or what do they need to retire, or if they want to buy their own location, if they don't own the property that their business is in, what is it going to require to get there? And we work towards that. And the tools that we use are Facebook, websites, Instagram, Kai, Google, all of these tools we use to get that goal, which is sending your kids to college, or buying that new home, or having a vacation that you haven't had for years. Or we've had clients that have actually come in because they are burnt out, and just building Facebook ads doesn't solve that. And they became clients and they love us because we actually help them become unburnt out. We help them readjust their staffing. We help them hire new people. We help them relook at what's working and what's not. Because I think what people forget, and again, this is why the niching thing is so powerful. You go and speak to another agency, and I hate to call ourselves an agency, but let's call ourselves a consulting organization. Right. When you go and speak to an agency compared to Creatively Disruptive, the kids activity consulting organization, that agency will build ads and put ads together and just try to drive traffic and try to bring you some more enrollments. We're going to look at it and go, oh, you're stressed out because you haven't seen your kids for 20 years. You've had 6 kids and now your last one's in high school, the rest of them have left, and you hate the gym that you're in, but you love gymnastics. how do we fix that? And we'll dig through that and we'll figure that out. In fact, in the YouTube video, in one of the YouTube videos, if you see this on our YouTube channel, look for Somersault Gymnastics and Robin. She was one that came in because she hated her gym. She'd had enough of it. She loved gymnastics. She loved the kids. She loved everything. But the gym and the business, she was done with. And we actually fixed that for her. Now she loves it. And it's a rewarding business that's, getting her up in the morning. And she's excited about it because she needed a readjustment.
I think the 12Q plan that we do with clients that go through where they want to be, it does all the math to tell them how many kids they actually need to get there, how much revenue do they need. And then that breaks it down even further to how many website visitors do you need a month? How many inquiries do you need a month? How much is your ad spending to be? And it breaks it all the way down for us so that our team knows okay, this is their goal. This is what we need to do, and help set that expectation around the board. But with the enrollments, we have one client who we're getting really good inquiries and everything and looks great. And they are getting new enrollments, but they're losing more than they're getting in. And then come to find out there's a competitor that's sharing flyers about how putting bad words in the community. Now we're going to try and figure out how we can help her combat that. It's that's what I mean. We're more of a consultative company.
Sometimes it's as simple as just getting in front of the mums. But most times there's way more to it than just getting in front of more mums.
Yeah, but there's so many other things behind that. If you just looked at the front end ads, you'd miss everything.
And that gets back to the founding principles of the company. We founded the company because what we wanted was to be that place that gym owners or kids activity center owners can go to after staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. in the morning. When I owned my gym with my wife, I would stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m. in the morning. It was very lonely because I didn't have anybody to help me, and I didn't quite understand how some things work. This was 20 years ago.
Right.
This was before Facebook, right? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, how do I solve this problem? And there was really no one to talk to. What we want to be in a real serious way is, sure, I'm not going to stop you from staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., but maybe you can get back to sleep at 3:30 because you can wake up at 7 and reach out to us. And there'll be a team of people that have seen a lot. We're currently dealing with over 100 clients. So we're seeing lots of different things that people are fixing, using, best practices, all sorts of stuff. Years of experience in the industry, years of connections with different people, the networks that we have to actually dig deep into what's ailing you or what's causing you a problem and actually getting to the bottom of it and fixing it. And I think that's why the first client that we've ever brought on, Jessica, I think you know what I'm about to say, the first client that ever came on as a kids activity center is still a client to this day. And I actually had dinner with her last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's cool for me because she was one of the very first accounts I ever worked on when I started here.
Yep. And and we've taken her through, renovations, COVID, partner issues, all sorts of different things. And we've got her to the point where she's, still dealing with stuff because that's what people have in their lives. But at least from a business standpoint, she's got a really strong, solid, repeatable business that's headed in the right direction. And
one thing Russ always says, and we've never put it in an ad because it can come across quite blunt, but I don't care how we help you. It's just that we do help you, whether we do it for you or we offer you all these resources we have. We just want to help. I think that's what makes Creatively Disruptive.
There's a good idea for an ad. We should do that. I don't care how we help. We just kind of help you.
Yes.
Whatever you need.
How do we do it? We don't care if it's giving you resources or sending you emails or whatever. We have free downloads and stuff. We just want to help.
Right. And that's whether you're a customer or not. If you're paying us, whether you're paying us a whole bunch of money or not, we've got loads of different resources. You go to our YouTube channel, go to our Facebook page, go to our Instagram, you can join our group. I mean, we do Kids Activity Center webinars every month?
We just had one today.
Okay, so is it each month or weekly?
Every month we'll do one.
Where people come live and they ask questions. We do done with you. So it's a bit of a cheaper cost and we'll actually help you build ads out. It's like there's so many different variants of how we help. Like I do consultancy, and a lot of times the consultancy doesn't even start with marketing. It starts with what are you doing? I've got to say almost all my consulting clients that I start off with end up being super successful and stay with us forever. But they all start with the fact that they are the problem. And that is very hard. That's
It's a very hard pill to swallow, right? That you're like,
yep. They all understand it, and they will actually own up to it. Like, give them credit. That's probably why they're paying for a consultancy. But they understand that they're the problem. They try to overcome it, and they're trying to figure out how to do it. Like the gym owner that was our first ever gym owner, she understood that she just didn't know. She knew gymnastics, she just didn't know operational business. And we've helped her with that. And now she's actually an amazing operator. And she's one of the things I think she would actually say to me is I told her to constantly be looking for more information and looking for better information. Surround yourself with really good business owners. In all of my interviews, the most common thread that I hear, Jess, is them saying, my business started to do really well when I realized I was a business owner and not a gymnastics coach. Gymnastics coaches tend to be the hub and spoke. They'll build themselves as the most important thing, and the business operates around them. But as soon as they get pulled out, their business falls apart. A business owner understands that, hey, they might be the top of the chain and they're the king or queen of the business, but then they have their management team below them, and then they have their staff, and then they have their customers. And if you take that person off the top, that the business still operates and does well.
That's why I'm the boss, and then you're just there.
Right. That's why I'm just floating around somewhere up here because I'm irrelevant.
I run the day-to-day show, and you're just up there. Honestly,
that's kind of how it is, right? And even with a general manager, if you don't build your team below you to be able to handle stuff, you can't scale.
Right.
Because if I hired you to if I hired you to do everything and you literally did everything, we wouldn't have 100 clients.
No.
We'd have 25, right? And that would be doing really well and be quite happy.
25 would be doing great, but that's all I maxed out.
Right. Right. Exactly. So understanding that you're a business owner first and a gymnastics coach second, you can still coach some gymnastics classes if you love it. And you can schedule it and coach a couple of classes, but that's not where your money's made. Your money is made from helping 1,000 kids.
Yep.
So, all right. So with that, we've gone a good 45-minute conversation. It was lovely talking to you. We should do this once a month, I think, Jess. Just to chat about something.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So, as long as the kids aren't home and they're not, maybe that would be good content, them going down the banister.
That is us today. And this is the wonderful Jessica Gleave. And I am Andy Seeley. And we will be talking to you soon. See you later, guys.